Hello, welcome to my channel, Another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and today I'm going to talk about 4 of my literary white whales. This video is based on an idea from Daniel at Guilty Feet, who made a video about 4 of his books that he wanted to read and never got around to. These are big books that he has wanted to read. It was taken up by Steve Donahue, who did his 4 books. And then again by Michael K. Vaughan, who did not limit his list to 4 books. He held a whole lot of literary white whales. I'm going to limit mine to 4. Also, mine are more or less going to be classical books. I know Steve Donahue said that he's read all the classics before, so his white whales have to be new releases, books that he's looking forward to. To be perfectly honest, there are not a whole lot of new releases that I'm looking forward to. There may be 2 that I could pick out for this year, but that isn't 4. So I'm sticking with the classics, books that most people have heard of. Most people. Some of these books may be on the rarer side. Okay, so what is considered a white whale? A book on your shelf that you just haven't read and you have no intention to read, that really isn't a white whale, such as the works of Jane Austen. I've only read 1 work of Jane Austen, and I have no intention of reading other works of Jane Austen. 1 was enough for me. So her books do not count as a white whale because I'm not obsessed and I'm not worried about reading them. They are books that I just don't care about. The white whale is a book that you actually want to read, but haven't gotten around to for whatever reason. So the first one I'm going to mention is a biggie. It is one that I own on my Kindle in a modern translation and an older translation, and that is Proust, A Remembrance of Things Past, or A Remembrance of Lost Time, depending on which translation. The Things Past is the older translation, and Lost Time, the more accurate translation, as I understand it, is the more current one. And I have read the first book, Swan's Way, twice. I have gotten into about the first 100 pages of book 2. And for whatever reason, Proust defeats me. I just can't stick with him. But I want to read it. The book is, 3,000 pages long and contains 7 volumes. So it's going to take quite a bit of effort to get through Proust. I will probably have to set a year and just call it the year of reading Proust. What year that will be, I don't know. Now, another book that I want to read is this one. This is The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire by Gibbons. I own this as this magnificent box set of Penguin paperbacks. And these are just beautiful paperbacks. These are the old, great Penguin paperbacks. And each one of these volumes is 1,000 pages long, or maybe 990, somewhere around there. So again, this is an effort, the year of reading Edward Gibbon. You're going to have to make a year of this. Now, fortunately, I also own a Kindle version of this, and there is an audiobook version available from Audio. It's only 1 credit. It's like 128 hours long. And maybe I will do that one year, get the audiobook, grab my paperback, or grab my Kindle, and just start reading. But why does it stop me? Do I really want to read 3,000 pages of Roman history? Roman history is fascinating, but is it still relevant? Would I enjoy this for 3,000 pages? I don't know. That's one of the reasons I haven't done it. I'm sure it's worthy. It's one of the classic books of history. And the year of reading Edward Gibbon, sometime in my future. All right. Since we've already had a number of these things. This is William T. Vollmann's Rising Up and Rising Down. This is his history of the justification of the use of violence. It is 7 volumes long, and it is over 3,000 pages long. So here I am again, the year of reading The Rising Up and Rising Down. Now, he is probably my favorite fiction writer that is currently alive today. I have read the first volume in here. It was pretty good. It's fascinating. But all those other big volumes are daunting. They make me look away and say, no, put it off for another time. So already I have a year of Proust, a year of Gibbon, and a year of Vollmann. So there we are. Now I'm going to read another book that I definitely want to read. Miss Mackintosh, My Darling, by Marguerite Young. This is a great postmodern novel. It is, I think, the longest novel written by a woman in the literary circle. I could be wrong there. I think some of those Outlander books may be longer, so maybe stretching it by saying the longest book written by a woman, but it's a book I want to read. But it's thick, it's dense. I have 2 copies. I have this little paperback because I saw it at a used bookstore and it was only $2. And when you see a book like this at $2, it just screams for you to buy it. And yeah, I have 2 copies. Oh, well. I'm probably holding out for the day that is available on Kindle. And the Kindle book goes on sale. Because, okay. Look at that print. These eyes, they're not young anymore. I would have to get reading glasses to get through this. But as I understand this, this is a book about a woman who gets on a bus. She's going to visit a favorite childhood nanny named Miss Mackintosh. And the book is the story of the woman on the bus recollecting. That's it. So, not everyone's cup of tea, and but I really want to read it. I know everyone who reads it must converse. Noah, I think he's actually reading it right now with someone whose name is escaping me. I'm sorry. But I'm reading Robert Musil this month. But so, this is one of the ones that have to read one day. I just have to read it. It's just a classic of postmodern literature, and it is screaming at me to read it. I've owned a copy of some sort since the 80s. No, the early 90s when I was, or did I get it in the 80s? I might have got like 89 or 90, somewhere around there. And it's just taunting me to read it, and I just never get around to it. And those are my 4 literary white whales. If you're watching this video and you want to do it, you should talk about your literary white whales. What books are taunting you to read them, but for whatever reason, you can't get around and read them? Thank you for watching, and keep on reading.